We'll gather round, feel the love come down. Blue elephant is strong, together we belong. In every comment, right?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are starting day one of a week's worth of giveaways celebrating 5,000 subscribers. Thank you to each one of you. Let's get into the video. We're going to talk more about today's giveaways here in a little bit. All right, so Craftor kindly sent me some of their epoxy resin, and they also sent me a new product that they have, and it's their eco casting powder. Now, this is new on the market. I don't think it's been out for very long, and they sent it to me to play around with and let them know what I think of it. So we are going to use both of these products, the eco casting powder and the epoxy resin, in today's video and create some magic. All right, so in the epoxy, or no, this is the eco powder kit. You get 3 different dyes. You get blue, yellow, and green. You also, no, is it green? Yeah, it's green because that's what I use. Duh. You also get the large mixing cups. You get the small little mixing cups. You get a measuring cup, some sandpaper, some mixing sticks, gloves, directions, and also your eco powder. Now, this is just like most of them that are out nowadays. It is a 10:3 ratio powder to water done by weight. You guys know me. I don't measure anymore. I kind of go by feeling, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I want to do is I've got this old beat up cutting board mold, and it's old, guys. Like, it's old. And I want to make a vintage kind of inspired decorative piece, right? So what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to have part of it with the eco powder and then part of it in resin, and just have it like this beautiful backdrop. But I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm not waiting for the eco powder to dry. I'm going to pour the eco powder and the resin in wet together and see what happens. I've never done this before, and I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. So I've got my resin mixing up. And again, I'm using Craftor's epoxy for this. In my Let's Resin, their new hand-free mixer deal. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's mixing up. I'm mixing up my eco powder now. Now, one thing, and this is on me, I wanted like it to stay. So typically when I do the eco casting, I do it on the thinner side because I'm doing it in a detailed mold and I want to make sure that it moves and it has the, it's liquidy enough to kind of move and get into all those areas. Today I want it thicker, and I should have made it even thicker still, but it's fine. We'll work with it. All right, so my resin is done mixing. I've got my eco powder mixture set ready to go. I've got to work fast. You only have like a 3 to 5 minute work timetable with this eco powder, so getting the eco powder itself done and the resin done at the same time was kind of a stressful thing because I didn't want to pour it too early and have it go everywhere, especially if I made it on the thinner side, which I did, not thinking because I typically make it thinner. I kind of should have had it more like super thick, you know what I mean? But I didn't do that, so it's fine. It's whatever. Anyway, I want green. Now, I'm slightly disappointed in the green. I mean, it's a beautiful green. It's just not the green that I wanted. And when you look at the bottles, and it's not just this green because I used another green too that looks the exact same as far as the shade in the bottle, but then when you put it into the actual mixture itself, it's super, super light, and that's not what I wanted. Tried to darken it up. I was kind of worried that I put too much in because, you only have a certain percentage of colorant that you can put into your mixture. So I added a little bit of blue to darken it up. I wanted more of a kind of foresty, not quite foresty green, but like a darker green, not this almost, well, now it's almost a tealish color because I added blue to it. But it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. We're gonna work with it. But do you see how it's running all over the place? That's not what I wanted. Should have made it thicker, but you know, it is what it is. So now I'm going to mix up my color. So for my color, I'm using DIY Warehouses. It's called Raspberry Fusion. It's, oh my God, it's so, so pretty. Such a pretty glitter. I haven't used this one yet, so I'm super excited to see how this is going to turn out. And then I'm also going to use Soji by Eye Candy. I will have all the links for everything along with your discount codes down in the description box below. But it's kind of like this really pretty shimmery white, but not quite white. You know what I mean? Like more of a, not exactly white. I don't know how to describe it. It almost has like silvery undertones to it. And it's super shimmery and sparkly and all of the things. So we're going to put that in there. And then I'm going to put my glitter going in between the two colors. And then we're going to just add it in some other places too. Now I'm only going to like halfway-ish fill this mold. I don't want it to be too high because I am going to add some things to it and then we're going to do a top coat. So I just figured I'll keep it all in the mold and I don't want to have to do a top coat outside if I don't have to, like outside of the mold if I don't have to. So we're going to go with what we got here. So it looks like a hot mess. It does. But it's gonna, you'll see. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. So this is the next day. I did give it the full 24 to cure and do its thing, especially since I used both of them white. Now the Eco Powder cures in about 30 minutes, enough for you to demold, and then it says it fully cures in 2 hours. But do you see how kind of cool that looks? I did kind of go in and kind of zigzag that line just a little bit between where the resin and the Eco Powder meet, just because I didn't want a straight line. I wanted something else. And it is like they're not the same level. So the resin goes up higher than the Eco Powder and it's fine. We are top coating it. I personally, like at first I hated it, but then as I was kind of looking at it, I kind of like the effect that it gives it. It's more three-dimensional. It's less flat looking. It's kind of cool and it grew on me a lot. I think it's looking kind of cool right now. Kind of scary, but kind of cool. But you'll see. We're going to fix this. So I have a bunch of rub-on transfer, like the UV DTF transfer stickers that are all kind of vintagey looking. And I thought that the colors would just go perfectly with these stickers, right? So we're going to place them kind of all over the place. And there are certain areas that I want to hide, like in the middle of where the Eco Powder is and that glitter. I accidentally dropped it into there and did a crap job at mixing it up and trying to hide it. We're gonna cover that up because I don't necessarily like that part, but I don't know, like I was in two minds about it at this point, but as the project went on, like now it's absolutely beautiful. I am in love with it so much. Like you don't even know. You really don't know. Anyway, as I kind of put these on while I'm doing this part, because it takes me a minute to do them all and fight with the stickers, because they do not like the bumps. They don't want to stick, and I was trying to keep them as flat as possible, but some of them just where I wanted to put them or where, because of the size of them, were going to where the lumps and bumps were between the Eco and the resin, and they didn't want to stick there. Now they stuck beautifully to the Eco Powder itself. They stuck beautifully to the resin itself, but in the in-between stage, they were just not happy with that. So I did have to fight with them, so it does take me a minute to do. Anyway, let's talk about this giveaway. So, for today's giveaway, Bond Crafter is giving away not one, not two, but 3 1-gallon resin kits. So that is super, super exciting. Now, the drawback to that is they, at this time, only ship to the United States. So this part of the giveaway is for US residents only. I'm sorry for everyone outside of that. However, because I didn't want you guys to be completely like not part of it, like I hate that. I really hate that. I am going to give away at one Amazon gift card that this way we can do it through email and nobody has to pay outrageous import shipping fees and all that stuff. So I will be giving away one Amazon gift card to someone outside of the United States. Now, obviously, you have to be able to get Amazon wherever you're located at. So, you know, wherever there's an Amazon, that whatever, I am offering a gift card to Amazon from me personally to you so that everyone can be included. However, there are going to be two different things to do for each one of them to kind of keep them separate, since only US citizens can go for the bond crafter and only outside of the US can go for the other thing. You guys are going to have to do two different things so that I can keep it separate for the drawings. Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty on this. For bond crafter, first of all, for any of them, you've got to be subscribed to my channel. It's only available for my actual subscribers because we are celebrating you. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Now, bond crafter, again, it is only open to those in the United States. You need to comment and have the words bond crafter in your comment. And I want you to tell me if you used them before, what it is that you like about them. If you haven't used it before, why you want to try them, or what you plan on making with it. But it's got to have bond crafter in your comment. And for those for the Amazon gift card, again, this is everyone outside of the United States. You need to have blue elephant in your comment. Again, must be subscribed to the channel. Say the word blue elephant and then tell me what it is that you like about the channel, why you subscribed, why you keep coming back. And we will be doing the actual drawing for the giveaways a week from today. So Tuesday the 17th is when the drawings will actually happen. And you will have 3 days to contact me either by email or through Messenger on Facebook, through my Facebook group page, so that I can get all of the details and we can get this sent off to you and I can tell you what I need and pass it along to Bond Crafter and they can get it sent to you. Same thing goes with the Amazon gift card. I'll need that information. Well, not all of the information, but information so that I can get you that gift card. If at the end of 3 days, the winners haven't spoken up, I will redraw and we'll go from there. But again, the drawing will be on Tuesday the 17th. So make sure you come back to this space for that and see if you've won. Okay, back to the video. So I went through my charms and I added a few charms here and there to different places, maybe something little that I wanted to cover up that the UV-DTF stickers didn't, or just to add a little bit more texture and effect to this piece. I did mix up some more epoxy resin and I am just filling it and making sure I go in where the little charms are to make sure that there's no air bubbles trapped underneath of them. Move it around, go around all my corners and edges and all of the things. And we are going to set this off to the side to cure. Now, I don't know what happened because when I left the mold, it was 100% like leveled, like it wasn't necessarily filled all the way to the very top, like domed, but it was high enough. It cured, and I guess I didn't have it level or something. I don't know because my table's level. So I don't know what happened, but all of the resin ran down to the bottom of it. So now like there's this big gap on the top and it's like super high domed on the bottom, and then I did get some air bubbles in there just from where I guess the resin or the eco powder and the resin met up, and maybe it didn't, there was just air trapped in there, I guess. I don't know. But I got some air bubbles. So I did take my Let's Resin cordless drill and I just went around the inside of those just to clean out from all of the yucky stuff. Cleaned it with some alcohol. You saw me wipe it with a microfiber cloth just to get any handprints off of it. And now I'm just using Bond Crafter's tabletop epoxy, and we're going to do a very, very thin top coat on this. So first I just drizzled it over where the holes are so that I know where they're at, and I can make sure I take my scribe and shove them in the hole to fill it with resin and get all that air out. Otherwise, you're going to be able to see it. When you clean it out, you want to make sure that you get all of the, just like the resin debris that was in there from cleaning it and whatever out. Otherwise, you will see it, and make sure that you get all the air out. So you want to use something pointy that you can push that resin in there, kind of pick out the air so that it fills with resin, and then you won't be able to know that there was ever even a hole there or a bubble or anything like that. So I did that first. Once I was sure that I got all of the holes covered, then I'm going to go over it and I'm going to very carefully pour the resin down. Now, what my goal is, I have to, or I need to fill up the mold the rest of the way, right? So I've got to fill it to the top of the mold. So I need a lot of resin there, but I still have to put it where it's super high and kind of domed over the top, but I just need a very, very thin amount there so that it's one piece and I don't have like a join line or a line where it just stops, if you know what I mean. So it's all going to be one continuous layer of resin, but I have to make sure that two things don't happen. One, that the resin doesn't touch all the way to the ends. It needs to go all the way down to the very bottom, but it just needs to be very, very, very thin down there. But not so thin that when it cures and it shrinks like it does, that it's going to pull away from the side. So it needs to be one continuous piece. So it's kind of tricky to do this, but we're gonna try and see. So I am going very carefully to all of the edges that the where the resin is up over top of the mold, but I don't want it to travel over it either. Make sense? I hope so. And after I kind of get my squeegee and go all the way around and make sure that the resin's everywhere, I'm going to make sure that it's level this time, because God, if it's not, it's going to spill everywhere. But then I'm just going to take my scribe and just make sure, just like if you were doing a normal top coat, you're going to just take it to the resin till it kisses that edge, but not too much. Now, typically I would go over it really, really well with a heat gun, and I did to an extent, but I do need to be careful that I don't make it so thin, because top or tabletop resin is a super, super viscous resin, right? And you get a lot of bubbles, especially I mixed it up way too fast. You do get a lot of bubbles, so heat helps get those bubbles out, and you can thin it out and get the bubbles, and a lot of them will go away, if not all of them. But in a case like this where I don't want it to go over the sides, like I'm not doing a flood coat, I need it to stay where it's at. I don't want to make it too thin. So I do need to watch the amount of heat that I put on it so that when I move it to my drying area, it's not going to run all over the place and cause more issues and more work to fix it. So we're going to cross our fingers on this and hope and pray to the resin gods that it works out the way I want it to. I have one kind of continuous layer. Now, I did notice that as I was kind of looking at it from all angles, that it was just not quite where I needed it to be there. So I just, on my craft stick, just took a little drizzle of resin just down that side there, just to kind of give me a little bit more so that it doesn't shrink back too much and pull away from it. All right, so 24 hours later, it is all 100% smooth, so hopefully it worked the way I wanted it to. Now, at first, I had thought about when like up around the top where the little hole is, putting like maybe some rhinestones or something like that. But actually, now that I look at it, like it's all said and done, I kind of decided against it because I quite like how it is. Like at first I was really, really hating that part, but I don't know. With the top coat of resin over it now, I think it's very, very pretty. Now the back, obviously, if you're gonna put this in like a kitchen or somewhere hanging up, you probably want to seal in the back just in case. I mean, it's a decorative piece, but just to maybe keep moisture out, especially in a kitchen where grease and stuff is always in the air. You may want to do that, or even just do a back coat. Just like put some either liquid latex or some PVA glue over the sides and the front of this, and go over with a top coat of resin on the back just to seal in that eco casting powder the rest of the way. Or you could just leave it. Right now, I'm just going to leave it. It is 100% smooth. There's no like bumps or anything on the back of it, so I think it'll be fine. But if you, depending on where you want it and whatever, you may want to seal it or do something to it. All in all, I think this turned out really, really pretty. A lot prettier than I kind of thought it would when I was looking at it initially. I am super, super happy. As I kind of finish just the final details on this, a huge, huge thank you to Craftor for sponsoring the 3 gallons of resin for the giveaway for this. I really, really appreciate you guys. To all of my subscribers, like, I love you all so, so much. We have built a wonderful, wonderful community of just really, really supportive people, and I wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. So from the very bottom of my heart, thank you so, so much. Good luck on the giveaway, on the drawings. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will see you guys on Thursday and the next one for some more giveaways. Love ya. Bye.
Blue elephant is strong. Together we belong. In every comment, right? You lift me to new heights. Your support, it's clear, gives me reason to cheer. Blue elephant crew, this one's out for you. You make dreams come true with everything you do. Each subscriber's heart playing a vital part. Videos we share, showing how much we care. Likes and shares, they